Now at 5, the 4th of July is right around the corner. We'll have some tips to celebrate with fireworks safely. Plus, Freeman Health System gives the public a lesson on health care. And
the Supreme Court rules on a major abortion case that pitted federal law against one state's near-total ban. I'm Natalie Brand with what the decision means for doctors and women.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
4th of July is only a week away, and local fire departments and fireworks stores are giving tips on how you can stay safe this Independence Day. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, 9,700 people were treated in the ER for firework-related injuries last year. 66% of those injuries occurred in the weeks leading up to or following the 4th of July. 8 deaths were from fireworks last year. Pittsburgh's first responders say it's important to take caution even before you start lighting off the fireworks.
One of the things that we're doing this year is we're upping our staffing. We're going to make sure that we have max staffing in the city of Pittsburgh, just in the event that we do need the extra manpower for responding to calls, events of fires, that sort of thing. So yeah, we're definitely preparing and planning for that and going to be ready for anything that comes our way.
If you do have an emergency during the 4th, you're encouraged to call 911. We're going to have more on fireworks safety tonight at 10. The Grand River Dam Authority has a caution for people heading to a lake or river for the July 4th holiday. Boat safe, smart, and sober. The holiday is typically one of the busiest times on the water. GRDA police say they're going to be out in full force to perform patrols, assist boaters, and of course promote safe outings. Among their tips, wear a life jacket, don't boat or float alone, and don't drink and boat. They say most serious boating accidents involve alcohol. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
For us today, but not as hot as what we saw earlier this week. Plus, the humidity is ticked down just a little bit. Upper 80s on the Missouri side, and then you hit lower 90s, Oklahoma, lower 90s once you get into southeastern parts of Kansas, but not much of a heat index because our humidity has dropped. Now, of course, that's going to go back up as we go through the next few days. Clear skies. We're going to see clear skies as we go through the evening hours. We are watching some thunderstorms out to the west. Some of those could affect us late tonight into tomorrow morning. But if you are getting out this evening, it looks fine. We're going to slide back through the 80s, 70s into lower 70s for overnight lows. Heating up, but still some thunderstorm chances in the forecast. We're going to check it out here in a bit.
Freeman's week-long summer program in Joplin is exposing teenagers to a variety of roles in the medical field. Students learn about bacteria, hospital functions, even how to stop a bleed. 28 students are enrolled in Freeman's Health Academy. Organizers say the program has grown since its return last year.
I like coming here to Joplin for the first time and just experiencing how things work in a hospital setting, because we don't have many of these programs up where I'm from. So
Freeman Health Academy is going to have 2 week-long sessions in July. President Biden and former President Donald Trump face off tonight. It's the earliest general election presidential debate in U.S. history, and the first time a former president and sitting president are going head-to-head. You can catch coverage of the debate right here on KOAM beginning at 8. The U.S. Supreme Court handed down a ruling allowing Idaho hospitals to provide emergency abortions for now. It's the first time the justices considered the implications of state restrictions on abortion since overturning the federal right to abortion 2 years ago. But as Natalie Brand reports, this issue could end up in front of the conservative majority court again.
The Supreme Court has ruled Idaho ER doctors can perform abortions when needed in medical emergencies. The case focused on a clash between Idaho's near-total ban and federal law, which requires hospitals that accept Medicare to provide stabilizing treatment, including abortion care, to a mother whose health is at serious risk. During arguments in April, female justices pressed the state on medical emergencies like sepsis and hemorrhaging.
Within these rare cases, there's a significant number where the woman is, her life is not in peril, but she's going to lose her reproductive organs. She's going to lose the ability to have children in the future, unless an abortion takes place.
How can you impose restrictions on what Idaho can criminalize simply because hospitals in Idaho have chosen to participate in Medicare?
The High Court's ruling could have implications on more than a dozen states that have adopted near-total bans on abortion.
Some doctors will see this as a point of relief.
Dr. Michelle Goodwin is a professor of constitutional law and global health policy at Georgetown Law.
It also is a very strong signal to lawmakers and also those who are not lawmakers but are working in administrative government that they should stand down.
Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson issued a separate opinion, writing, "Today's decision is not a victory for pregnant patients in Idaho. It is delay." The court did not address the underlying question of whether the federal law trumps Idaho's law in certain circumstances, and the case could return to the High Court down the road. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Abortion is expected to be a big topic during tonight's first 2024 presidential debate. The Biden campaign is releasing a new ad about today's decision. The Supreme Court also rejected a controversial settlement involving Purdue Pharma. The settlement would have sent billions of dollars to treatment programs and victims of the nation's opioid epidemic. In exchange, the Sackler family, which owns Purdue, the maker of OxyContin, would have immunity from future civil lawsuits. A federal appeals court in New York approved the deal last year, but the High Court today overruled it, taking issue with the protection from lawsuits. Still ahead, seeing is believing.
A new procedure could help people with cataracts. I'm Michael George with how this technology is helping restore patients' sight.
Plus, the CDC revises its recommendations for who should get the RSV vaccine. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, the CDC revised its recommendations for the RSV vaccine. Yesterday, scientific advisors to the federal agency reframed guidelines on who should receive the vaccine. Last year, the CDC recommended adults age 60 and older could receive a single lifetime dose of the RSV vaccine. Now they unanimously recommend all Americans age 75 and older receive one dose of an RSV vaccine. The decision was based on recent safety and effectiveness data. The National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases says an injectable HIV prevention medication called lenacapavir was shown to be safe and 100% effective in clinical trials among women. Researchers say the long-acting PrEP is administered twice a year and could be an important tool for patients unable to take pills daily. Cataracts are the leading cause of blindness worldwide, affecting more than 20 million people in the U.S. With June being Cataract Awareness Month, Michael George shows us a new device that's helping restore patients' sight.
The idea that when you find out you're losing your eyesight, it's terrifying.
John Gingrich is battling retinitis pigmentosa, a hereditary disease that's caused the 47-year-old to gradually lose his vision.
I'm legally blind, and I need a blind cane to get around. My peripheral vision is completely gone.
Gingrich is an author and magazine editor, two jobs that rely on sight. The disease can cause cataracts, which threaten to take what central vision he has left away.
It hit a breaking point, and this was something I had to do.
It's really expected within a year.
Gingrich came to Dr. Kira Manousis at the New York Eye and Ear Infirmary of Mount Sinai. It's among the first hospitals using a device called MyCore to remove his cataracts.
There's a throttle here which we can press to take the cataract out of the eye. It breaks it up into little pieces right at the tip.
Cataract surgery is common, but this handheld device, approved by the FDA last year, makes the procedure faster and easier.
This gives us the ability to break up the cataract using a different type of energy. It's subsonic energy. The less energy you use, the less inflammation, the better the patient can see the next day.
Gingrich says his procedure was over in 10 minutes and made a huge difference.
My central vision is fantastic. It's allowed me to write, it's allowed me to do my work, it's allowed me to walk my daughter to school in the mornings.
Gingrich knows his disease will one day take his vision, but for now, the difference he's seeing is night and day. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Doctors hope this device could one day make cataracts removal as easy as a quick office visit, similar to a dental procedure. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, the holiday travel rush has already begun. How the FAA is handling the increased traffic.
Pre-holiday heat is starting to push in. We're going to be looking at that coming up next. Of course, hot for us once again today. High temps right around 90 degrees, but the humidity hasn't been too bad today. So it's bearable across the region. Pretty much clear skies. Here's a nice shot of our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Pretty much clear skies, and I think that's what we're going to see as we go through the evening hours. Pretty quiet across the region. We'll slide back through the lower 90s, 80s, 70s. We'll bottom out into lower 70s later on tonight. Let's check out the temps. 86, Stockton Lake, Cassville toward Table Rock, 87. We have Grand Lake sitting at about 92. Pittsburgh sitting at 88. Independence at 91 degrees. Pretty close to where we should be for this time of the year. Our average high is 87 degrees. It's 89 in Joplin. East-southeasterly winds at about 5 to 15. Check out our dew points. Not too bad. Near 60 into lower 60s. So if we look at our dew point tracker, that puts us into the not bad to kind of sticky range, but a lot better than what we have seen over the past couple days. Our winds are going to start to pick up later on tonight into tomorrow. We're going to have the southerly winds, gusts kind of 25 upwards to 30 miles per hour into Saturday. And then Saturday evening as a front rolls in, those winds will start to back down just a little bit. Heat advisory in effect on the Kansas, Oklahoma side in this kind of magenta color is an excessive heat warning. So it doesn't include Missouri, as the higher heat indices will be in the western half of our counties. We look good. Not too much is going on here. We are tracking some thunderstorms out to our west, western Kansas, western parts of Nebraska, and some of those late tonight into tomorrow morning can clip us. You can see this little notch in the upper level wind flow, and that is a weak little wave. Now, if you follow the arrows, that takes it just north of the region, so most of the energy is going to stay north of us, but along and north of I-44 later on tonight, we could get a few scattered showers. Here's 3:30 in the morning, scattered showers, a few thunderstorms, Yates Center, Iola, Chanute, Neodesha, down toward Independence. Watch as they push east, they kind of fall apart. So spotty showers by morning, here 7 a.m. north of I-44, and then gone, and then partly sunny skies, and then we really heat up tomorrow afternoon. I think most of us 96, 97 degrees for a high. Tomorrow night, we're going to watch more thunderstorms in our northern counties. So here's after midnight, and some of these are going to push in, scattered again, not widespread, late tomorrow night into Saturday morning. Some of those could be strong, maybe low grade severe, and then out of here by Saturday morning. During the afternoon, we heat up again, mid to upper 90s for highs, and then we do it again. Scattered thunderstorms mainly in our southern counties Saturday evening into the overnight hours. So what this is going to do, if everything stays put the way it is, it kind of splits the bulk of us of the heavy rain. Northern counties get good rain. Southern counties get good rain. But right through the heart of the region, not a lot of rain as we go through the next couple days. Here's your day planner for you Friday. Some morning showers, 88 by noon. High temp up there, 97 degrees. Those heat indices near 100 on the Missouri side, and then about 105 to 110 once you get out across southeastern Kansas and into northeastern Oklahoma. So drink plenty of fluids if you're going to be outside. 97 tomorrow, 96 Saturday. Sunday cooler, 87, and then back near 100 by the middle of next week.
And of course, we're going to be keeping a close eye on the 4th of July. Thanks, Doug. Young area musicians today took part in a workshop. Pitt State hosted the first day of its string camp, all about stringed instruments. Today they focused on technique and rehearsing. It'll all culminate tomorrow in a concert for family and friends.
It's the opportunity for you to get to meet other people who are passionate about the same type of things, and so then they hopefully build these friendships that can foster their growth as a musician and as a human being.
That concert is going to be at 6 p.m. tomorrow at the Bicknell Family Center for the Arts. Coming up, the creative solutions that some communities are finding to keep up with demand for drinking water. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the 4th of July just a week away, and the travel rush is already underway. The FAA predicts today is going to be the busiest air travel day of the year so far, with nearly 54,000 flights expected to take off today and tens of thousands more in the coming days. The FAA Administrator Michael Whitaker discussed summer air travel on CBS Mornings and how the agency navigates around bad weather.
We have a command center in Virginia that coordinates among all the centers and with the airlines to make sure we're routing traffic around thunderstorms. That's the main concern this type of year. We've opened up some additional routes. The military gives us some extra airspace to use. We opened new routes over the Gulf of Mexico and some higher altitude routes. So we try to keep that mix going, but if the storms act up, it will result in delays.
The TSA expects to screen more than 32 million people from today through Monday, July 8th. That's about a 5% increase from last year's July 4th holiday. Toilet to tap, flush to faucet. These are a couple of the terms for recycled wastewater used for drinking water. As Danya Bacchus shows us, states in the western U.S. have more demand than supply, so they're looking for any source, even if for some it's hard to swallow.
When it comes to water, California is working to preserve every drop.
We are doing what Mother Nature does itself.
The drought-prone state is now allowing water agencies to use recycled wastewater for drinking water, a term officially known as direct potable reuse and unofficially coined toilet to tap.
We can turn raw sewage into drinking water in 24 hours.
John Kennedy is the general manager of the Orange County Water District.
When you flush your toilet, you take a shower, you clean your clothes, wash the dishes, you're generating wastewater or sewage.
Orange County, California is home to the largest groundwater replenishment system in the world. Every day, 130 gallons of treated wastewater that would normally drain into the Pacific Ocean goes through a 3-step purification process, including microfiltration, reverse osmosis, and ultraviolet light.
In 24 hours, we're drinking clean water. Cheers.
Cheers.
And like you said, it tastes like water because it is water.
The purified water is pumped into the county's underground water basin before it makes it to the tap. It's indirect potable reuse.
If it was direct potable reuse, there would be more treatment steps.
Experts say the once extreme idea is becoming mainstream.
There is no new water. What used to be toilet to tap is now a highly technical, highly treated source of water supply that exceeds every standard, has no health risks whatsoever.
California now joins Colorado as the second state to approve the process. Cities in places like Arizona, Oregon, Florida, and Texas are also recycling wastewater. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Fountain Valley, California.
The process of developing the regulations in California has taken more than a decade. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, what are voters from both parties hoping for in tonight's debate? Then on KOIM News at 6, the Oklahoma State Superintendent of Schools announces new requirements for including the Bible into curriculums. Plus, we're going to have more on a healthcare lesson from Freeman Health System. And a new golf entertainment center is now officially open in Webb City. We're going to hear from the owners of Tea Time Live. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOIM News at 6. Excitement's building in Southern California where 2 giant pandas now call the San Diego Zoo home. Yun Chuan and Xing Bao left China yesterday on a 7,300-mile journey to San Diego. They're the first set of giant pandas who entered the U.S. in more than 2 decades and are part of a special conservation agreement between the U.S. and China. The zoo is preparing for their arrival, constructing an area 4 times the size of the previous panda exhibit at the zoo, which mimics the bear's native habitats.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, they were always popular when they were around before.
Yeah.
The weather, not so popular, Doug.
No, tonight we'll drop back into lower 70s, some scattered showers and thunderstorms north of I-44 late tonight into tomorrow morning. High temp at 97. Heat indices tomorrow 105 to 110.
Well, that's too hot. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next, and of course we're going to be right back here at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.